Even if you were working right now in the world's most luxurious office building with the highest salary, you're working far more hours than a cave dweller did 200,000 years ago. What's more, he had much more free time than you do. Imagine a morning without an alarm clock, without emails, and with a weekly work week of just 15 hours. No, this isn't a retirement fantasy. It was a normal Tuesday for humanity over the past 200,000 years. So, before the concept of work had even been invented, what were ancient people really doing all day? Were they just lying around in their caves all day? Or were they caught up in some other kind of hustle and bustle we can't even imagine? Now stretch your mind a little further. Imagine that the concept of time has completely vanished. Is today Thursday? Or how many days until the weekend? None of these questions make any sense. If the sun is rising in the sky, you're awake. If it's setting, you surrender to the darkness. That's your only calendar. You have no worries about saving money, nor any concerns about investing for your future retirement. You exist only in the present moment. As the wind blows across the boundless savanna around you, nature is both generous to you and lies in wait like a beast, ready to take your life at any moment. When you open your eyes in a world like this, a completely different feeling replaces the chronic stress of modern humans, the pure instinct for survival. Meet our ancient friend, Grug. 200,000 years ago, Grug opened his eyes in the morning just like you. But he doesn't have the chance to go to the kitchen and pour himself a cup of hot coffee or open the fridge and heat up last night's leftovers. The moment Grug wakes up, none of the complex plans that occupy the modern person's mind all day long cross his mind. Only one thing occupies his mind, that deep, rumbling and ominous sound coming from his stomach. In the ancient world, this is the first sign of danger, because being hungry means growing weak, and growing weak means becoming prey in the wild. It is precisely at this moment that Grug's secret work begins, the work that will allow him to survive the day, but which bears no resemblance to any job or office we know. But this work doesn't start by swiping a card or turning on a computer. It begins by taking that first step on the fine line between life and death. For Grug and his tribe, the first task of the morning is to find energy, because in this world, feeling hungry means taking one more step toward death. But it's not that easy. You can't just go to the supermarket and buy a package of pasta or order a meal on your phone. Grug has two options: either chase after a fleeing source of food for hours, or find the hidden treasures beneath the ground. The tribe's women and children scatter around the camp. They are gatherers. They carefully examine the plants on the ground and the fruits on the trees. Don't underestimate this task, because it's actually the most complex and dangerous memory game in history. You have to look at a plant's leaf and determine whether it's a nutritious dinner or a poison that will stop your heart in seconds. Grug's wife, Luma, is practically a walking botanical database. She knows exactly which roots become sweet in which season, and which mushrooms can only be eaten once. The slightest mistake spells the end for the entire tribe. Luma doesn't just gather, she also studies the scent of the soil, its moisture, and the direction of the wind as she walks. She knows by heart which bushes hide fresh water springs, and which tree's bark heals wounds. As the women walk for kilometers, they whisper among themselves, teaching nature's secret language. It's like a massive, open-air, intergenerational survival academy. Meanwhile, Grug and the other men move silently through the thickets. They've spotted a herd of gazelles. The bow and arrow haven't been invented yet, so they have no chance of hunting from a distance. Grug has only a simple wooden spear with a tip hardened by fire. You can't get close to a gazelle with this spear. The animal is many times faster than you. This is where humanity's greatest evolutionary trick comes into play: endurance hunting. Grug and his friends can't run fast, but they can run longer than any other animal on Earth. They set off in pursuit of the gazelle. The animal flees quickly, pulls ahead, and stops to look back. Grug, however, continues walking and running from behind without stopping, with patience. The sun rises, and the temperature reaches 40 degrees.
Animals cannot sweat. They can only try to cool their bodies with their tongues, and after a while they become breathless. But humans can sweat. As Grug sweats, he cools his body and keeps moving forward. This is not just a physical race, it is also a remarkable art of tracking. Grug estimates how far away his prey is and how exhausted it is based on a small broken twig, a faint claw mark in the dirt, or the density of flies swarming in the air. With every step, he maps out the prey's route in his mind. At the end of this relentless pursuit that lasts for hours, a massive animal collapses right in front of you, unharmed, exhausted only by fatigue and the heat. The hunt is over. The tribe returns to camp with heavy steps. Is it finally time to stretch out their legs and rest? Absolutely not. The second major activity ancient people engaged in all day was making things. But they did this not as a hobby in the modern world, but as the only way to survive. Grug sits by the campfire. In front of him lies a large piece of flint. He picks up another hard stone and begins to strike it. The angle, speed, and force of every strike must be perfect. A single wrong blow can instantly reduce hours of labor to dust. Here, Grug is a stone craftsman, an engineer. He practically visualizes the sharp axe hidden within the stone and brings it out. Amid the sparks and stone dust, he spends hours shaping this stone. In another corner, the tribe's elders are scraping the hide of the hunted animal with bone knives. If that hide isn't properly cleaned, salted, and dried, it will rot, stink, and become unusable within a few days. Thin needles are made from the animal's bones, and strings are twisted from plant fibers. On top of all this, there's another never-ending household chore at midday, carrying water and tending the fire. Going to the riverbank, filling watertight leather bags with water and carrying them back to camp is a test of strength in and of itself. Moreover, riverbeds are among the most dangerous places in the world due to crocodiles coming to drink or large cats lying in wait. Tribal members always watch each other's backs while fetching water. Meanwhile, valuable dry branches are gathered. If the fire goes out, it means not only eating raw meat and getting sick, but also spending the night completely defenseless. Every single item you buy with money in the modern world, a water from the tap, the boiler at home, a sweater you wear, or a knife, they have to produce from scratch entirely with their own hands. Now hold on tight, because we're about to reveal a fact that will really surprise you. Anthropologists calculated the total number of hours these people worked each week amid all these survival efforts, including hunting, gathering, carrying water, tending the fire, and making tools. The time spent amounted only to 15 to 20 hours per week. That's not even half of our current work weeks of 40 to 45 hours. Grug had far more free time than a modern office worker. A huge portion of the day was entirely his own. Be honest, if you had hours of completely free time every day without any digital screens, how would you fill that time? Would you go crazy, or would you find that inner peace we've forgotten? So with all that free time and no TV, phone, or internet, what did these people do? When the sun begins to set, the world changes completely, and the most dangerous moments for humans begin. Darkness is the time of wild predators, lions and hyenas. The tribe immediately retreats to the entrance of a safe cave or the center of a shelter. A large, bright fire is lit. This fire isn't just for warmth or cooking meat, it is the ancient world's first and most powerful form of social media. People huddle closely together around the fire. It is precisely at these moments that the great thing that sets humans apart from all other living creatures takes place. Gossip. I'm not joking. According to evolutionary psychologists, gossip is the most important communication tool that ensures the survival of the human species. At the fire, people discuss who acted selfishly during today's hunt, who brought more food back to the tribe, and who can be trusted. You have to live in harmony within a small group, and gossip defines the community's rules and sense of justice. 200,000 years ago, knowing who got along with whom or who secretly ate fruit from the group's supply was far more vital than today's tabloid news. Then the stories begin. The tribe's elder stands up, the lines on his face glistening in the firelight. As shadows dance across the cave walls like gigantic monsters, he recounts the great famine of the past, those mysterious stars that fell from the sky, and the heroes of old. There is no writing, no books. Knowledge is passed down from generation to generation solely through these stories. The young people learn about the dangerous world outside through these tales and these fears. Sometimes they just have fun. The first flute, carved from the bone of a crane, is brought out. Hands clap to the rhythm, feet stomp on the ground, and strange melodies are hummed.
These rhythms are the tribe's shared heartbeat. Grug sits beside his child in the warmth of the fire, strokes his hair, and teases him. As the children run around the fire, the adults watch them, touching one another's shoulders. Within a safe circle, simply by looking into each other's eyes, they savor the pure joy of being alive in that moment and of belonging to a community. The night grows ever deeper. The fire slowly dies down, leaving only red embers that faintly pierce the darkness. Grug rests his head on a piece of dry hide. He listens to the howls of jackals in the distance, in the wind's murmur through the trees. He knows that danger could emerge from the darkness at any moment, but the steady breathing of the people right beside him gives him boundless confidence. They sleep, sensing each other's scent and warmth. In those days, loneliness meant death. That is why the tribe is bound together as one body. Now, take another look at yourself. 200,000 years later, you're lying in your safe home, on your soft bed. Your door is locked, your window is shut, and there's a sturdy roof over your head. There are no wild animals, no risk of starvation. Yet why does that inexplicable restlessness, that strange anxiety and stress about the future, never seem to end? Why do we sometimes feel so alone and drained, even though we have everything? Because our brains are still Grug's brains. We didn't evolve to sit in a closed room all day under artificial lights, stare at computer screens, worry about never-ending bills, and engage in relentless economic competition with thousands of people we've never met. Our biology is alien to this. Our nature longs to chase after that calorie in the morning, shape a stone with our own hands in the afternoon, stand shoulder to shoulder with the tribe against danger, and sit around a fire with friends in the evening, simply telling stories. The more we disconnect from nature, the more we actually disconnect from that human within ourselves. Ancient people weren't just sitting around doing nothing all day. They were living the purest, simplest form of being human. They worked, but not for a company. They worked directly for life itself, simply to live and to help those around them live. When your alarm goes off tomorrow morning, pause for a moment before you start that busy day. Look in the mirror and remember this. Inside you still lies a hunter who feels the heat of the savanna, runs for hours, and finds peace by the evening fire. We are the children of those who weathered those difficult days despite everything, who survived those dark nights. And if you think about it, even after 200,000 long years, we aren't all that different from them. If you too sometimes feel your spirit getting trapped amid all this modern chaos, concrete buildings and endless notifications, you're not alone. I understand that nomadic spirit within you, searching for the warmth of that old, simple campfire all too well. That's why we're here, and that's why we often gather on the walls of this digital cave. Leave your unique mark on this cave wall. Like the video to support our tribe, and subscribe to join us so we can meet again by the warmest part of the fire in the next story. Join us so we can hear each other's voices. Now, before you close the screen, I'd like you to ask you to sit back and think honestly for a moment. In your opinion, did Grug, who spent every day simply getting through that day, hugging his family and watching the sky, live a more beautiful, more human life? Or are we modern people who enjoy the technology in our pockets and the comforts of our homes despite everything, and who face all our troubles, the luckier ones? Let's meet in the comments below, share our thoughts, and listen to each other's ideas. Take your seat before the fire goes out. The tribe is gathering here, and I'll be waiting for you there.